Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And thanks to everyone who will be watching this on delay. I'm David Cherner, co-founder and CEO of Yole. And joining me are Marlis and Kjartan Jansen of Grata LLC. Hi, Marlis. Hi, Kjartan.
Hi, David.
Welcome. Grata is a firm that is dedicated to promoting human connection, empowerment, and creativity by understanding wealth in all its forms. And Marlis and Kjartan are also the creators and facilitators of our new well-being program, Fundamentals of Financial Wellbeing, Cultivating a Healthy Financial Mindset, which we're so thrilled to be introducing today. And this is a program that can truly help all employees combat stress associated with financial anxiety, a significant and pervasive issue for many today. For those of you who are new to Yole, we are a corporate well-being and learning company based in Mill Valley, California. We operate all over the world, both in person and virtually. We've been around since 2014, and we offer programs that are designed to help employees and teams reduce stress and burnout, humanize leaders, and increase compassion, performance, connection, and productivity. And in terms of a roadmap for today's discussion, we're going to first hear a little bit about the work of Marlis, Kjartan, and Grata, and discuss why the program was created and why we believe it's vital for all employees, particularly right now. We'll then explore what some of the expected outcomes are likely to be for participants and for HR and people departments, and review a bit on the structure of the program, and then open it up for questions, which you can add into the chat or the comments. So let's get started. Marlis and Kjartan, why don't you tell us a little bit about your backgrounds and your paths that led you to form Grata, and a little bit about what Grata is about.
Sure. So we use money every single day. It impacts every aspect of our lives, from lifestyle choices to partner choice to career path. And yet we don't learn how to talk about it. We don't learn how to manage it, how to manage our finances. And we're expected to figure this out by osmosis. And so most of the time what we do is we just absorb the attitudes, the beliefs from our parents and our families and our other aspects of early experience. And we act on those things unconsciously. So personally, I certainly have my own experiences of being a young adult and not having learned how to talk about money and feeling weird asking questions and not making healthy financial decisions as a young adult. I am professionally trained as a therapist, and when I went to school to become a therapist, I realized that what I really wanted to do was to help demystify this process of talking about money, because we need mentorship. We can't expect young people to figure this out on their own. And we also need to provide safe space to explore the meaning of money in our lives. So that's what Grata is about. It's really about working with our clients to address all aspects of money so that we can figure out how to live with purpose, live with more joy. We work with individuals, couples, families, family offices, advisors, other groups, to have all kinds of safe and catalytic conversations to help people leverage money as a tool for well-being. We work with people of great wealth. We work with people across the wealth spectrum. So it turns out that whether you have no money or tons of money or just enough money, a lot of the issues of discomfort and taboo and need for mentoring are the same. So that's what we're about.
Thank you. And let's see, my background is in economics, finance, and investing. And more recently, I have a fair amount of facilitation and training as well as experience. One of the things that I find so fascinating about this, and I think thinking back, I've always been fascinated by the underlying interaction of people, which is what really makes up the economy. And now having the ability to work with, as Marlis said, individuals, couples, families, but really people, who make these decisions is utterly fascinating, and I absolutely love it. One of the other things that I enjoy so much about this work is normalizing finance and the language of finance for people writ large. It's an industry that tends to be filled with jargon. A lot of jargon is used as gatekeeping, which is silly and stupid and annoying. And so one of my personal missions is to get rid of that and help people understand that they too can interact, and it shouldn't be as scary as it feels. I should also note that we work with our clients on all aspects of their wealth. We are not financial advisors. Sometimes there's a little bit of confusion about that given my background, but we are not. We don't offer financial advice. So it's strictly on the relational side that we work. And it's
Got it.
Wonderful work, privileged to do it.
Got it. Thanks so much. Let's dive right in. So let's talk first a little bit about the program. What is it and who's it for? Marlis, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. This program is really for anyone who's interested in understanding more about the role money plays in their lives and how it can contribute to their well-being. So the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau actually has a definition of financial well-being, and I'm going to read this so I get it exactly right. Their definition of financial well-being is a state of being wherein a person can fully meet financial obligations, can feel secure in their financial future, and make choices that allow them to enjoy life. And I find it quite interesting that feeling secure and enjoying life are critical elements of financial well-being. And so that's the part that we really focus on, is how do you get to those feelings of security? And a lot of it is psychological and emotional. So we're going to teach specific tools for employees to articulate elements of their values, identity, and purpose that can support this process of cultivation of financial well-being.
Terrific. One of the things that I thought was so interesting when I began to learn a little bit more about your approach to all of this is your focus on people's relationship with money. Kjartan, why focus on employees or people's relationship with money?
Yeah, so employees often experience a change in their financial situation through their employment. So employers, when they attend to that, help their employees adjust to their new circumstance. And couple that with the fact that according to the American Psychological Association, Americans are more stressed about money than relationships, jobs, or any other stressors. So it follows that money stress likely has a significant effect on other aspects of our lives, such as work satisfaction and productivity. And some recent research on financial well-being and empowerment identifies 3 dimensions of financial well-being. Those are affect, or how people think and feel about their money and their relationship with money. It's action, which is financial actions or behaviors, which include earning, spending, saving, and planning behaviors. And lastly, access, which is accessibility of financial services. And of those 3, affect is the most important one. So in other words, how we feel about our interaction or our relationship with money is a key determinant of our financial well-being. We can have all the money and great financial advice in the world, but if we feel guilty about how we obtained it or spend all our time worrying about losing it, it really doesn't serve us very well. And it's also worth noting that money stress can come from having too little. As Marlis said, we work with people all over the wealth spectrum, as well as having an adequate amount or a surplus of money. And then lastly, a little sort of maybe a bit of a societal commentary. The wealth gap is widening right now in America. And this is adding to the stress of people as we tend to see ourselves in relation to others. And so while some say, well, everyone's better off now than they were 10 years ago, we tend to look at our neighbor and say, well, that house is bigger than ours, so we're worse off.
Where do you think employees are getting their information right now about money?
You know, everything I've ever seen about the way that employers have addressed financial well-being has to do with contributing to their 401ks, like very procedural and what do I want to say? Procedural, but also just it has to do with the nuts and bolts of the finance. But what lies underneath, as Kjartan mentioned, the psychological orientation to money isn't something I've ever seen addressed. And certainly in my past employment, I never saw it. So I guess that's all I can say, that I've never seen a program that addresses the psychological well-being around money.
Yeah, we haven't either. You know, obviously there are a lot of benefits, total rewards type informational programs for employees, EAP, assistance for employees, but this is a really interesting approach. And we're just so excited to be working with you all on this. Let's talk about some of the expected outcomes that employers can expect from this program. What will the people take away from it?
Yeah, they should expect to have an understanding of the fundamental elements of financial well-being. As we talked about, there are three determinants there I mentioned a little bit earlier. An overview, we want to go over an overview of the human biases that affect our financial behavior. So think behavioral finance or behavioral economics, which is a field that was pioneered by Tversky and Kahneman many years ago, for which they won the Nobel Prize in economics. Very interesting. And also an understanding of the participant's own relationship with money. We want to help them start thinking about their North Star, or think of an aspirational, healthy narrative for how they would like their money to enhance their lives and potentially the lives of others. And then lastly, a specific plan for one important money conversation. That's something that most people don't schedule. We like to call them money dates. So it's a time to sit down with someone and have what might on the outset feel like a challenging conversation, but that ultimately is going to be a fruitful conversation about money. And to address this, we've developed something we call the HEARTS. An acronym we use is HEARTS, that we use to work through these challenges. And that'd be useful to just go through what that stands for. It's an easy way for us to remember it all. H stands for heritage, which is our family and other cultural factors. E stands for empathy, which are our listening skills and humility. Action is the financial care for self and others. And responsibility refers to our financial obligations. T stands for trust, which is emotional and financial safety. And lastly, the S stands for stewardship, which is leveraging financial impact beyond ourselves. So that's the framework that we use to cover this. And I know this is a lot to cover in 2 hours, but we can at least introduce it and introduce the material in a useful and actionable way in that time frame.
Got it. Love it. Before we go forward, I just wanted to give a quick sidebar on just how thrilled we are to be working with Grata on this important initiative and introducing this new program today, and why. Over the last few years, there's been a bunch of research published on the components of holistic well-being and the drivers of human flourishing, from the Shine Center at the School of Public Health at Harvard and others, that describe the components of holistic well-being as physical, mental, emotional, social, purpose-centered well-being, and financial. And for those of you who know Yoel and know our programs, we've been delivering on nearly all of those components for a while through our resilience and mental fitness programs and our mindfulness-based shared service experiences and our reconnection experiences and our movement programs, among others. But we've been missing that elusive financial well-being component. And so when Marlis and I went on a walk in our hometown, we both live in Mill Valley, California, last summer, and began talking about how much we'd like to work together again. We worked together many moons ago in the healthcare space. It was serendipitous. And here we are 6 months later, and more importantly, we're collaborating on something vital for so many employees. And so I'm just so thrilled to be launching this today with you guys. Let's shift gears a little bit and discuss the nuts and bolts of the program. So initially, we're going to be offering this 2-hour workshop. Marlis, can you tell us a little bit more about that? So structure of the program, components, et cetera.
Yeah. So mostly the workshop is going to be interactive. So we're going to present some current research, we're going to present some of our own material, and then we're going to undertake a series of activities that will allow the participants to explore their own ideas and experiences. So for example, a person's relationship with money, that's one thing, one of the expected outcomes, as Kjartan mentioned, that's a pretty vague construct. So what we have is a way to break that down into manageable chunks and look at each of those manageable chunks so each person can build more awareness about where their relationship with money comes from, what that even means. And so we're trying to make it fun, create a really safe space for everybody to explore these ideas and create meaning for themselves. We will also work on mind-body strategies for addressing financial decisions as well as remedying financial stress. So specific things that they can be doing when they're facing a particular financial decision or when they're feeling financial stress. What can they do to bring themselves into, to ground themselves and get themselves into a situation where they can move forward in a calm way. And we want everyone to come out of the workshop empowered to choose how they want to relate to money, not just taking on what they've learned in the past, but choose how they want to relate to money and what role they want it to serve in their lives and maybe the lives of their families and communities.
Awesome. Awesome. We're also developing a self-directed version of this program and a deeper dive, more of a longer cohort-based version, similar to our other well-being programs, thinking 4 to 6 hours at this point, in addition to this workshop. Kjartan, can you tell us a little bit about how those programs will be different from these?
Sure. So as I mentioned earlier, we're trying to cover a lot in 2 hours here, and we won't be able to go into it in a great deal of depth. So the longer program, as that's being developed, will let us do just that. We'll have more activities and more information about each part of the 2-hour program. So it'll go both wider and deeper. And as is always the case, we'll be learning as we deliver the 2-hour program, which is also going to inform the direction of the longer program. But the key takeaway there is think same broad topics, but deeper and wider is what it's going to be.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And we'll be providing some more information on those programs in the next few months. So I think we're a little ahead of schedule, which is always good. So why don't we see if there's any questions out there for Marlis or Kjartan or myself. I see our friend Brian Breckenridge from Vital has commented that this is vital for all employees. It certainly is vital for all employees. And we're excited to be partnering with Brian and Corey Marshall from Vital as well on some other programming. Anybody else have any other questions or comments on the discussion so far? Give it another minute or two. I know we might not. I think we're seeing everything here. Okay. Well, before we close, let me turn it back over to you, Kjartan and Marlis. Anything else you'd like to add about this program?
I think I'd just like to add that I think that this kind of program shows an employer's investment in the culture of their company in a way that employees will really benefit from, not just benefit from, but see a new kind of care that's helping them live their lives with more joy, but also come to work with more enthusiasm, and it'll contribute to team culture and overall performance in a way that I expect will be very positive.
Agreed.
Terrific. I agree as well. Let's see if I don't see any other questions. Well, terrific. Thank you all for joining us. We are, again, so excited to launch this program. If you have any questions, please reach out to any of us on LinkedIn or send an email to teams@experienceyol.com. That's teams@experienceyol, all one word.com. And we'll get right back to you. And you can find more about this program and other YOL programs at our website at experienceyol.com. And you can learn more about Grada at grada.com. That's GRADDHA, love the name.com. And thank you so much, Marlis and Kjartan, for joining us. And thank you, everybody.
And thank you, David, for facilitating this and for instigating with Marlis the partnership. We're very, very excited about it.
We are.
Terrific. As am I. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Bye.
Bye.